On the 51st episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about the NBA and NHL Finals, Trevor Lawrence's extension, MLB news and injuries. We're going to be ranking MLB's rare single-game feats, some NFL news, merch of the week, and we're going to be ending it off with some Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. We are just going to get started here. We're going to start off with some NFL news. Trevor Lawrence's record-breaking extension. Now, it's not really record-breaking, but he ties Joe Burrow in the highest-paid quarterback in NFL history. Again, this guy who's not really that good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. Trevor Lawrence is good, but not worth as much as he's being paid. I didn't even do the math yet. What's 275 divided by 5? Yeah, $55 million a year for Trevor Lawrence seems like a stretch, but I understand in the next few seasons that he's not going to be the highest paid quarterback anymore. He's going to, the value of the dollar and the NFL is going to go up. Like Patrick Mahomes last year, highest paid quarterback. Now he's like 5th or 6th. But again, good for him, but I think it's smart for the Jags to sign him now, to sign that extension now instead of 4 years, where, again, the value of the dollar for NFL players is going to go way up. We've seen it already in the last year, and it's just going to continue to keep doing that, but it is $275 million for 5 years. Again, it's an extension. And so, yeah, let's look at his stats. Let's see if he's even worth that much. Trevor Lawrence, career stats. I believe he got drafted in 2021, I want to say. Yeah, 1 second. Let's go to Pro Football Reference. His first year was in 2021. He got drafted in 2021, I want to say. Yeah. He's played 50 games in his career. What others? He's had a 63.8% completion percentage with over 11,000 yards and 6.7 yards per attempt, 58 touchdowns, 39 interceptions. So out of 50 games, he's had 39 interceptions and 58 touchdowns. That's not even 2 touchdowns per game. And you're saying he's worth $55 million. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. But again, I do think in the long run, it is very smart for the Jags to do that now than in 5 years. Because like I said earlier, the value of the dollar in the NFL is going to go way up, as we've seen in the last year or two. But, yeah, so there's that. Tom Brady was inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. What do we have on that? So it was obviously held in Gillette Stadium, where over 60,000 fans were there supporting Tom Brady and watching the ceremony about Tom Brady's career, obviously mainly with the Patriots. The owner, Robert Kraft, announcing that number 12 will be retired from the Patriots, as like we all expected. The greatest quarterback of all time is obviously his number is going to get retired, and good for him. They've also announced that they are going to be building a 12-foot tall statue of Tom Brady that will be unveiled during the 2024 season. He says, our goal was to create a once-in-a-lifetime ceremony for a one-in-a-kind player. I hope we accomplished that goal with a few firsts. That is what Kraft said. But obviously, Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time, the greatest quarterback of all time. And yeah, you gotta make it big for him. I know he kind of like went to the Bucs for the last few his last few seasons in his career, but no, I think it went really, really well. The Brady Four was there. Shout out Barstool Sports. If you guys don't know about that, look that up, the Brady Four. But yeah, he ended, it was like a 3-hour long ceremony, and he ended it with this kind of like a speech saying that he will always be a Patriot, which is good. Whatever, it's you know what's gonna happen. But yeah, it's kind of weird seeing these people from the Tom Brady roast, the greatest roast of all time, hosted by Kevin Hart a few weeks or maybe even a few months ago at this point. But you see that, and then you see those same guys coming out here saying nice stuff about Tom Brady. I know that the roast was like somewhat scripted and all of that, but it's just weird to see like the connections between the players and coaches from a couple months ago during that obviously joke of a roast to an actual like real life thing, if that makes sense. But again, congratulations, Tom Brady, obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer, greatest football player of all time. And nobody in the Patriots organization will ever wear the number 12 again. So again, congratulations, Tom Brady. That is it for NFL. MLB, we have some injuries, some news, and then later on, we're going to be ranking MLB's rarest single-game feats. Some of them I didn't even realize people could even do. But yeah, we will be rating those later. But for now, we'll just stick to some injuries and news. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is out on the 15-day IL for tricep tightness. He had a game a few days ago. We are filming this on the night of June 16th. A few nights ago, you saw Mark Pryor sprinting down the dugout, getting Dave Roberts, hey, come with me into the tunnel. Him getting like a trainer or interpreter or something, hey, come down with me on the tunnel. Pryor's body language in that did not look promising, but once we were told that it was just some tricep tightness, I was relieved. Again, I was thinking the worst when I saw Pryor making all those sprints down, trying to grab managers and trainers and stuff. They took him out after an inning or two after only giving up, I think, a run. But again, you hate to see guys get injured. Yamamoto obviously worth $300 million. But yeah, he should only be out for 15 games or so. Nothing too serious. Just a couple hours ago before filming this, it was released that he's on the 15-day IL. Hopefully it's no more than that. Hopefully this doesn't lead to more stuff. He did say after the outing that his triceps were feeling a little bit sore before then. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully this doesn't happen or not happen again. Hopefully this doesn't lead to bigger problems. What else we got? Justin Verlander is getting a little bit old. How old is he exactly? Over under 38 and a half. I'm going to go with the over. And he is 41. That wasn't even a good line. All right, he's 41. He's getting old. He got scratched from the start a few days ago for some neck discomfort. Hopefully, it's only a one-day thing. Hopefully it's only a one-start thing. He was scratched from Saturday against the Tigers, his former team. And the Houston did lose that game 13-5. But again, Houston isn't a great team right now. Let's look at these MLB standings, and we will see through that in the AL West that the Astros have jumped up to third place at 33 and 39, but still I don't think that they are even in the wild card at this point. How do I check wild card? MLB wild card playoff position right now. I don't know how to check that right now. I used to know how to do it, but whatever. But again, like I said, Verlander's getting old. He's in his last few seasons. Again, if you're 41 playing a professional sport, that is very, very hard to do. Again, soccer, you're 28, you're considered old. But Verlander's still at it at 41 years old. So good for him. Sorry you're hurt, but whatever. The Astros have released Jose Abreu, and I guess his career's not over, but he had a great career up until these last few years. This season, he had a negative 1.6 wins above replacement, not even halfway through the season, with over 100 at-bats, 14 hits, only 2 home runs, with a .124 batting average, with only 7 RBIs in those 113 at-bats. Again, just this season, he had an OPS of 361 with only a 4 OPS plus. But again, in the seasons past, he's been playing since 2014, and he won Rookie of the Year in 2014 But he won MVP in 2020, and then just since then, it's just kind of been downhill from there. Let's look at I always say that WAR is the greatest stat to ever exist to a baseball player, but on this spreadsheet, it doesn't look like they show it. But anyway, let's look at his batting average. Where's his batting average? Here we go. Yeah, after 2020, he had a 317 batting average, and then 2022, he had a 304, and then this season, again, like I said, he had a 167 batting average. Just not good. Good for the Astros for releasing him, whatever, but I think his career is almost done with. He had a good stretch, 10 years, but again, I think he's going to kind of call it quits after that. MLB umpire Pat Hoberg violates the gambling rules when he signed the contract. In the contract, it says you cannot bet on anything. I'm not sure if it said anything MLB or just gamble on anything at all. But if you're an official, an ump, a ref, you shouldn't be gambling on anything. He claims that he hasn't, and he is appealing the decision and claims he never bet on baseball. The MLB is going under investigation on that. But he is an absolutely great ump. If you go to MLB, I think it's called Ump Scorecards or whatever. It's on Instagram, whatever. Pat has one of the best scorecards. Like, he's just one of the best umpires we have seen, and not only a long time, but ever. He's just so accurate and consistent. It's unbelievable. He has a great eye. But yeah, you know the rules. When you sign a contract, you can't bet on anything. And again, disciplinary actions will be taking place according to MLB. But he's appealing the decision, and I think that if it comes out that it's like 100% true that he was gambling on stuff on baseball, that he won't be an umpire again, which is very, very bad for MLB for losing these big umpires, or their best umpires. But again, rules are rules. So yeah, there's that. On to NBA. The NBA Finals are taking place, and the Celtics were absolutely dominating the Mavs until Game 4. So the Celtics won the first 3 games. The first 2 were played in Boston. Game 3 was played in Dallas. The Celtics won 106-99. They keep closing the deficit of points, but they're down 3-1 at the time of this recording. I believe tomorrow, Monday, is when Game 5 is supposed to happen. Game 4, the Mavs absolutely blew out the Celtics. It wasn't even close, 122-84. A lot of people are saying it's a revenue thing, that the NBA can't afford for it to only go 4 games. But again, if you're Jason Tatum, you're 2 years old, you're like, hey, what I want to do in life is to win the NBA Finals. You're not going to go up 3-0 and be like, hey, I want the NBA to make more money, so I'm just going to sell this game. So I think what the Celtics did was just kind of take a rest day, whatever. You're going to win the series. It's kind of hands down. You're going to win the series. It's 3-1, whatever. We'll get them in the next game, and if not even the next game, we'll get them after. There's no way the Mavs are winning 4 in a row. But yeah, I think they were just kind of taking that day kind of easy, just build up, not like beat down on themselves too much. But Game 5, I was right. It's on Monday, June 17th. I believe it's at 8 or 8:30 p.m. Make sure to watch it, because that is when most likely the Celtics will win the NBA Finals. And again, if they don't win that one, if it's a close game and they don't win that one, there's always Game 6 or Game 7, whatever. Celtics are going to win it. I am very, very confident in the Celtics winning that game. Winning Game 4. I think that the Celtics will win Game 4. Like I said, Game 5. I'm very confident that the Celtics will win Game 5. All I think happened in Game 4, they were just taking a kind of rest day, a day to think to themselves, like, hey, we don't need to beat ourselves down and tire out until Game 6 or 7, where it's actually going to matter. But yeah, series averages. Let's take a look at this. Again, there's a huge outlier of Game 4. The outlier in Game 4 was the Mavs winning 122 and the Celtics only scoring 84. So in the series, the Mavs are averaging 102 points and the Celtics are averaging 100.5. But again, there's that outlier in place. In rebounds, the Mavs are averaging 45.3, and the Celtics are averaging 38.8 rebounds. Assists, the Celtics have 24, and the Mavs have 16.5 assists per game. Again, the big outlier kind of cancels out all these averages, but whatever. The series leaders is obviously Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. Jason Tatum is averaging 20 points per game with 7.8 rebounds with 6.3 assists per game, while Luka's at 29.5 points per game. He is carrying the Mavericks on his back. It's not even funny. I feel bad for him. I made a tweet I don't know, a few days ago about someone get this guy a chiropractor because his back must be hurting from carrying the whole team on his back, but he's averaging 8 rebounds per game with 5.8 assists per game. And again, the Celtics are going to win, so Jason Tatum's probably going to win Finals MVP. What else? Charles Barkley says that he is retiring from TV after the 2024-2025 season. I don't think a whole lot of people were expecting it. I don't think a whole lot of people were even thinking it. But like I said, he announced his retirement from television after the 2024-2025 NBA season. The longtime TNT broadcaster and Hall of Famer made the announcement after Game 4 of the NBA Finals on Friday, revealing that he planned to retire after the 2024-2025 NBA season. The news comes rampant after speculation that TNT parent Warner Bros. Discovery is about to lose NBA rights to NBC. He has this whole quote of thanking him for the last 2 decades. Honestly, I can't really see. I guess we'll see in the next couple seasons, but I can't see Charles Barkley not announcing games and being on TNT. He's just been with it for like my whole life. But yeah. He said he's going to retire after 25 seasons. But good for him. At some point, you're going to have to retire. I don't think he really wants to die being an announcer. He's done great for, obviously, the sport. Obviously, a Hall of Famer for a player, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer for an announcer as well. But, yeah, good for him. What do we got? We got 17 minutes. 17-minute podcast. We got a lot more to go. Not a lot more. We got quite a bit more to go. If you guys don't follow us on... If you guys don't follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, make sure to go check us out now. I'm going to be checking out. We go live while we're doing the podcast, and I am going to check some of their comments, see what they're saying in there. Somebody asked, do you think the Miami Marlins will make the playoffs? There's about a 0. I'm not good. There's less than 5% chance the Marlins make the playoffs. They're 23-48. They're 24 games back. They're just not good. Florida just doesn't have good teams, if we're being honest. The Rays were good a few seasons ago, obviously, being in the World Series against the Dodgers in 2020. But they're last in their division. The Marlins are last in their division. Just not good. Not good at all. But yeah, so that's a no. But again, make sure to go check out our TikTok to watch the podcast live. And again, I can talk about your chats during the podcast. The NHL Stanley Cup Finals are also taking place. Same kind of thing with the NBA, where the first 3 games the Panthers just go boom, boom, boom. Game 4, they're lightening up a little bit. Hey, don't beat ourselves too far down. You don't want to get too tired and injured before games 6 and 7. Those are the most important games if it ever gets to that far. But the Panthers go up 3-0 in Game 1. Panthers up 4-1 Game 2. Panthers up 4-3 in Game 3. And then Game 4, again, they lighten it up a little bit. The Oilers win astounding 8-1. That is wild. That is a wild score. To score 8 goals. Again, I know it's just like the Mavs did. Like, they're just going to put up as much points as possible. It's a must-win game. It is literally a must-win game. Game 3 was pretty much a must-win, but Game 4 is a must-win game. If you lose that game, the series is done, and you just got swept in the finals. Like, congratulations. But Game 5, Panthers are going to come back at it, and they're going to end up winning the cup. The Stanley Cup, their names are going to be, like, engraved into that big old trophy. So yeah, June 18th. So that is Tuesday on ABC, ESPN Plus, SNCBC and TVAS is where you can watch the games. So don't be begging me on TikTok Live to put on the game, because that is called copyright infringement. Infringement, I don't know, whatever. But, so yeah, I think that the Panthers will win Game 5. Again, they were just lightening up for Game 4. They were like, hey, don't beat ourselves down too much. They're going to win Game 5. So yeah, Panthers are going to win 4-1 to win the Stanley Cup. What else we got? We are going to be ranking the top 10 rare single game feats in the NBA. All right, at number 10, we have a no-hitter. A no-hitter it's every pitcher's dream. There's been 323 of them in NBA, or sorry, in MLB history. I think this is since 1900. I think. At number 9, you have the immaculate inning, 9 strikes in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Out. Boom, boom, boom. Strikeout. Boom, boom, boom. Can I help you? Not just looking. Immaculate inning is just, it's something, it's not really like a long-term skill. It's just you kind of got to get lucky and just pound the zone. Again, foul balls are going to be in play. There's going to be some swinging strikes that are outside. But an immaculate inning has happened 114 times since 1990. But yeah, Blake Snell did it in the minors just a few weeks ago, but this is straight MLB. Now that is at 114. That's happened 114 times. But now at number 8, this has only happened 24 times. A perfect game. You could say 25. You could say that from the Tigers in 2013, I want to say. But officially, it's been 24. There's been 24 perfect games. Again, I love watching them. I think I've only watched like one. I think I've only watched one perfect game in my life, maybe 2. They're just so good to watch. You're just cheering for that pitcher. You're cheering for the team. Now, perfect game, 99.6% of the credit goes to the pitcher, but it's a team effort. You got to get the outs. You got to make your plays cleanly. Double plays, triple plays if they are in effect. But yeah, perfect game. You love to see them. I think it's the greatest accomplishment as a team. I hands down think it's the greatest accomplishment that you can get in a single game. What else we got? At number 7, you got 4 home run games. It has happened 18 times. Some guys don't even get up 4 times in a game. Between pinch guys, there used to be pitchers in the NL and AL, or sorry, in the NL. But 4 home run games, you go pop, 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 pop. Usually 4 for 4, 4 for 5 with 4 home runs. Just absolutely wild. You got to be a power hitter to do it, and that's why it's only happened 18 times. But at number 6, we got the 10 RBI game. It's happened 16 times. Imagine 10 RBIs in a game. That is quite a bit. You think about 10 runs. That means 10 runs. You drove in 10 runs in one game. Sometimes there's not even 10 runs in a game. A lot of times for one team, there's not 10 runs in a game, and one person did that in a game, and it's happened 16 times. But at number 5, we have the unassisted triple play. It's happened 15 times. I mean, imagine an unassisted triple play. A triple play is absolutely wild. How many times has a triple play happened? We are going to look it up. How many times has a triple play happened? There has been 735 triple plays in Major League Baseball since 1876. Exactly 15 of them have been unassisted. Again, for a single player, that is a great accomplishment. You don't really strive for that when you're growing up, like, oh, I want to make an unassisted triple play. But you know what? It works. It's great. That's why it's only happened 15 times. At number 4, imagine 2 grand slams in the same game. Only 13 people have done it, and one of them, I'm getting a little sneak peek to later on in the list, but 2 grand slams in a game. It's happened 13 times. That's already 8 RBIs. You got 8 of the 10 RBIs from the 6th spot up in the list below. But 2 grand slams, you just kind of got to get lucky with the guys on base. You got to get a guy at first, second, and third 2 times and hit a home run both times. So it's kind of just like a 2 home run game, but you got to be the most clutch guy for the month if that happens, and that's why it's only happened 13 times. At number 3, we have 20 strikeouts in 9 innings. It's only happened 5 times. I think the most well-known one is Randy Johnson. 20 Ks in 9 innings for a team is absolutely wild. There's only 27 outs for each team, and you're saying 20 of them were strikeouts. That means you're pretty much unhittable. The other 7 outs could be grounders, pop flies, flyouts, pickoffs, whatever. 20 Ks in a game is absolutely wild. That's why it's only happened 5 times since 1990-ish in the MLB. At number 2, runner-up to number 1, is 3 hits in 1 inning. How often do you get the chance to even get up to bat twice in an inning? It's just absolutely wild. But 3 times in an inning is even more wild. And to get hits all 3 of those times is so rare that it's only happened 3 times. Now, how many at-bats have there been in the MLB? I don't know if I don't know if there's an exact number for that. Obviously, some are still going on watching the Dodger game here, but 3 hits in 1 inning and 3 at-bats. It's only happened 3 times, and that is why it's at the number 2 spot. But at number 1, Fernando Tatis Sr., you could have probably guessed it, 2 grand slams in just 1 inning. Now, Fernando Tatis Sr. was an absolutely stud in the game, but he hit 2 grand slams. Bases loaded. Pop, grand slam. All right, a couple outs later. Pop, grand slam. It happened 2 times in 1 inning. It is the rarest single game feat of all time because it's only happened once. Fernando Tatis Sr., it probably will happen again in the next 200-300 seasons. But again, till then, I don't think it will happen. But that is your top 10 rare single game feats in MLB history. We are at 26 minutes. All right. We got a few more minutes left. We are on to merch of the week, where I announce 1 new piece of merch every single week. I'm looking up when is National Dummy Day. All right. Now, here's why I'm looking that up. When is National Dummy Day? When is National Dummy Day? I don't know if it has... Whatever. When it is National Dummy Day, get them this shirt. Because it says baseball isn't a sport. Now, obviously, baseball is a sport. Our good buddy, Zach, came on the podcast a few months ago. And just out of the blue, baseball isn't a sport. Now, like, what were you thinking, Zach? I still don't know what he was thinking. But he does watch baseball. His dad, Alan, came on the podcast a few weeks later after that and says that he has watched baseball and he's a baseball fan. So his dad says. But he said that baseball isn't a sport, so we made a shirt about it. It says baseball isn't a sport from Zach from episode 20. With a baseball crossed out on it. Again, if your friends are dummies and think that baseball isn't a sport, this is a perfect shirt for them. It's nice material. It's flashy. It's a good design. And you can get yours at shophattricksports.com with promo codes TikTok 30 for 30% off. And if you're on Instagram, Insta20 for 20% off. Again, get yours at shophattricksports.com. Get it for you. If you don't think baseball is a sport, it's a perfect shirt for you. shophattricksports.com. For your friends that think that baseball isn't a sport, this is the shirt for them. Get it for their birthdays, get them for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for President's Day, from Leprechaun Day, whatever. What is that called? Whatever Leprechaun Day is called. St. Patrick's Day. Get it for them. Every holiday. What else we got? I think that... All right, we are on to my favorite segment, Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? All right, for this week's Hall of Fame, yay or nay, we got Christian Yelich. Now, Christian Yelich is an absolute stud. He's been playing since 2013. He started the season off in Miami with Giancarlo Stanton. That Miami team was actually very, very good. With Justin Bohr, Giancarlo Stanton, Christian Yelich. That team, I just remember that team. Giancarlo Stanton was obviously strongest at that point. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Marlins Stadium, but it is very deep. Giancarlo Stanton home run derby hit the glass, like the windows in the back, 500 plus feet, probably closer to 600 feet. Just that team was absolutely amazing, and Christian Yelich was lucky enough to be on that team. So he's been playing since 2013. He has a career WAR of 41.4 with over 5,400 at-bats, over 1,500 hits, with almost 200 home runs, with a batting average of 287, almost at that 300 mark, with 924 runs, 736 RBIs, 198 stolen bases, with an on-base percentage of 377, with 465 slugging percentage, with an OPS of 842, with an OPS plus of 129. So with those in effect, does he belong in the Hall of Fame? He won MVP. He's a two-time All-Star. I'm surprised he's not more, but he's only a two-time All-Star, three-time Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, two-time batting title. Again, he's been on the Marlins and Brewers in 2017. He made his way on to the Brewers. This season, he's not so great. He's not horrible. He might be an all-star, but you never know. He's been playing for 12 seasons. He led the league in batting average with 326 the year that he won MVP in 2018. It was Cody versus Belly. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was like a huge debate. That was, in my opinion, that was bigger than the presidential debate. But the Cody versus Yelly debate, Yelly ended up winning that. He had a 326 batting average. He led the league in batting average, slugging, OPS, OPS plus, and total bases. He had a 326 batting average with a 598 slugging, with an OPS of 1, with 1,000. OPS plus of 164 and total bases of 343 in just 147 games. And the year after that, he came in second with in the MVP race. He was still an all-star and won Silver Slugger, but he had a 329 batting average with a 429 on-base percentage, 671 slugging, OPS of 1.1 pretty much. OPS plus of 179, and again, he came in second that year in MVP voting. Again, still an all-star, still Silver Slugger. He was 19th in MVP voting in 2016 with the Silver Slugger. And what is that stat? Gold Glove, obviously. And then he won Gold Glove in 2014. So with all of this in mind, he's had a career batting average of 287. Now, are you a Hall of Famer? What defines a Hall of Famer for batting average? Is it 300 plus? Now, nowadays, 250 is average. So if you're going higher than that, you never know. I think this is a really, really good Hall of Fame year, Nate, because it could go either way. Again, he was a 41.1 wins above replacement. He's not done with his career yet. Now, if he finished his career right now, is he a Hall of Famer? Now, that is the question in place. I don't know. He was the greatest at one point. So if you're the greatest, how many people are in there? How many players are in the MLB Hall of Fame? There are 346 players in the Hall of Fame. Now, there's been less than 346 years for the MLB. So that means that he was the greatest in 1 year. He was the greatest baseball player of all time. So that means he should be in the Hall of Fame. So we are locking. I don't know why I'm saying locking. It is a yay. Christian Yelich is in the HatTrick Sports Hall of Fame. I'm doing it now. Induction ceremony. It is June 16th, 2024. Signed in effect. Sign my name right there. Christian Yelich is in the HatTrick Sports Hall of Fame. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Let's see. But I think that is it. Thank you guys for watching episode 51 of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, including YouTube for all the visuals. You can listen to us Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for new content every day. Multiple pieces of content every day. Make sure to check out Twitter where we report different injuries and stuff first to break the news. And go to shop@HatTrickSports.com to get all your merch and merch of the week. And we will see you guys next week for episode 51. Thank you guys and see ya.